Without using the football cliche, I mean, that really was a day of two halves. It really was. England were massively frustrated by Joshua Da Silva and Shamar Joseph, realistically. A partnership of 71 that they put on for the 10th wicket. Da Silva finished 82 not out. Shamar Joseph 33 from 27 with 5 fours and 2 sixes. 1 6 that hit the roof at Trent Bridge, broke a tile and landed on some fans in the crowd, which was relatively interesting. Wokes picked up 3 quick wickets to start off the day. They went from, what were they, 3-5-5 for 5 to then 3-8-6 for 9. And I kind of thought maybe we're going to have a bit of a lead going into the second innings, put 300 on and we'll be absolutely fine. No chance that they catch us up. But no, that 71 partnership gave West Indies a lead of 41. As I said, Wokes picked up 3, was on a hat-trick at one point, and then England went to the short stuff because that's what they do every single time they get the 7th wicket. The 7th wicket happens, and then that's it. They literally just go to short bowling and try and get someone caught in the deep, and sometimes it doesn't work. I think Sky put up a stat today that 9 to 11 average 15 per wicket against us. Like, how is that happening? How are we letting 9, 10, 11 add on 45 runs to the score? Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, why is that happening? Like, it shouldn't be. It should be 9 down. Okay, maybe they'll add 10, maybe 15. But 71 is an absolute joke. And it's not even like Stokes has done in the past, where even Travis Head did it in the Ashes this summer, where he would literally just start smashing the ball and keep the strike. No, Shamar Joseph scored 33. Now, he was demoted to 11. I think that could have been for an injury. I'm sure it'd be further up the order in the chase. But no, it just seemed so stupid. It didn't quite seem like the planning was right there. But then again, they do it every time. Like, we just haven't been able to clean up a tail for the last 2 years. Probably longer than that. I think it started on a route, to be fair. I specifically remember the tail wagging quite a lot at Lord's when I was watching England versus India in 2021. And that one didn't go too well either. But when it comes to England innings, apart from being 8 for 1 at one point, as Zach Crawley went for 3, as he was run out by one that was pushed back from Duckett down the pitch. Seals gets a very, very fine kind of fingertip to it, and Zach Crawley's run out of the non-striker's end when he's trying to get his bat back. There's nothing wrong with it. It's one of those things. I don't think Zach Crawley did anything wrong. I don't think Duckett did anything wrong. I don't even really think Seals did anything right. I think it was just one of those freak dismissals that happened in cricket, and Crawley probably got the kind of the best 3 balls that the West Indies bowled in the first innings to get a duck, and then has picked up a very unlucky 3 on an absolute road at Trent Bridge. I'm not sure he's going to be too happy about that. And personally, I don't blame him. Ben Duckett batted well for his 76. He got a good Yorker from Alzari Joseph that saw him go. Again, it would have been nice for him to convert that ton. I don't think he's overdue for one, but it would be nice to see him get another one. Just to cement his place in the side, really. I don't think anyone's worrying about it. He's averaging over 45 as an opener for England. So I don't think anyone's done that since Cook. I don't even think Cook did that, to be honest. Ollie Pope 51, again another half century for him. So this English Test summer he's had a 50, 100 and a 50. So I was saying it was going to be a big summer for him, and he had to perform, and he started to step up slightly. He really is. And again, between the two of them, there was no real stupid shots, and Duckett and Pope, I feel like, can sometimes fall into the very stupid shot stuff. The one thing I will say is that I thought Pope should have maybe seen an over off when they got that new ball, because it was starting to do something. You knew something different might happen. So just have a look at a couple, right? Just don't swing at one outside off the very first ball that they have the new ball in their hands, because it did move, it did bounce a little bit more. So it's one of those. I just thought that was just a game situation that Ollie Pope could have played a little bit better, and that you hope he would. Joe Root 37 not out overnight off 67 deliveries. Again, a very sensible Joe Root innings, playing like Joe Root does. And then Harry Brooks 71 off 78. He wasn't quite batting that fast before, but picked up a few boundaries towards the end of play. kind of very, very late cuts through the slip cordon, which always look very scary, but look very, very nice when they come off. Alzari Joseph picked up the only 2 wickets that wasn't a run out of Duckett and Pope. Again, I thought the West Indies played very well. I thought the tail wagging is massively going to help them in this game. That extra 70 runs, even if you say, okay, they would have got 20, the extra 50 runs, that's just 50 less runs that you're going to have to chase. Now, I think England are personally going to try and get us to 400, set them 360 to win, give them a stay and a session and a half to try and chase it down of 360. I think that's there or thereabouts where they're going to try and be. I don't think they're going to want any longer to try and bowl them out, because I think the problem is if you give West Indies 450 to win with a day to get it, they'll just hunker down and bat out for the draw. You've got to find that very, very sweet spot in between to try and get them to play some shots and try and chase it down. And I think 360 with a day and a half to play, I think they'll probably go for that. And even probably fancy their chances on a relatively flat pitch. I don't think this is going to end in a draw. I think there's going to be a result either way. I'd say England are probably favourites at the moment, considering West Indies have to bat last. And if these two in the first hour can push us up to what are we going to be looking at? 300, 320, around there or thereabouts. And then swing for the hills, I think. We'll need to put on another 80 for another 7 wickets to be in a comfortable position. If we can put any more on that by halfway through the afternoon session, I'd be pretty happy with that myself, I have to admit. But I do think it is poised, the game. I mean, West Indies have been so much better than they were in the last game, and every time there seems to be stories written and different things like that of writing the West Indies off, they do seem to come back and fight. I know they were really out of that Australia series with the first game and then came back and won at the Gabba. There's some fight in them, there really is, and they always seem to pick up a game when they're over here. Now, this is probably the weakest West Indies side that I've seen, at least in my lifetime, and it's probably the weakest there has been. There is, I think they're missing Kemar Roach. I think Kemar Roach would have bowled well in these conditions. Again, some of it's been expensive, some of it hasn't. So the thing is, I didn't feel like Shamar Joseph bowled that well today, but his economy was the best out of the lot. So it's very funny. It's very funny that West Indies bowling attacks. It's not terrible at all. And you really thought it was the batting that was going to let them down, but 457 in their first innings was just incredible. I think the last time that they scored 450 in one innings in a test match was like September 2014. So 10 years ago was the last time they scored 450. Now, I'm not sure if that's how bad this England attack is or how flat this pitch is. It's probably a little bit of both. I thought England were really poor today. Yesterday, I thought they were poor in the morning session, with the exception of those 3 Wokes wickets that he picked up. I thought he bowled a lot better today. But again, it's just that short stuff. We just didn't need to go to it. We just had to bowl normally and we would have got De Silva or Shamar out. It didn't matter at that point. But again, very sensible with the bat. I feel like we were a little bit more ruthless than what we have in the past. Now, Harry Brook has the ability to throw it all away within 10 minutes in the morning session tomorrow. So I could see that happening, but a lot better than what it was yesterday, I have to admit, as an England fan. I feel like we're in a pretty good position to go on and win this game. I don't think Stokes is going to hang around tomorrow. I don't think Jamie Smith is going to hang around tomorrow. I think even Brook might start swinging the bat. He might want to get to his century first. He hasn't had one in England yet, which does surprise me. I think he had 3 in Pakistan and 1 in New Zealand. So, yeah, he's due one in England. He really is. But, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I very much hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to leave a like. Please remember to subscribe. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next day update.